Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street.
Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in on this lovely Tuesday afternoon. I hope you all enjoyed your holiday yesterday. As we all know, this is a short week this week because we had the holiday yesterday and then another one coming up on Friday when we're all going to be celebrating Whit Monday was yesterday, and on Friday we're going to be celebrating Labor Day. So I trust that you had a very restful weekend. I know that I certainly got some rest, and I also slept very well last evening after that cut hip that the Miami Heat put on the Boston Celtics. Yeah, I got to talk about that for a second before I introduce my guest. Because, you know, I'm a Laker fan. No shame in my game. Yeah, we get sweep. And that was heartbreaking enough. But anybody who is a legacy basketball fan like me, if you are a Laker fan, then just by osmosis, you hate the Boston Celtics. That just covered the territory. You a Laker fan, you hate Boston. So quite frankly, I haven't been following basketball in a long time. This is the first series I watched in a very, very long time. And so I didn't know half the players. I was surprised to learn that so many people of color are now coaches in the NBA. Head coaches, good stuff. And you know, the little young fellow who they got coaching Boston, you know, if he was coaching any other team, I might have pulled for them. I just happy, you know, they probably ain't gonna fire him because he come back from that 3 down, you know, and to force a game 7. So I hope they keep him around. And but I can't pull for him because his team wearing the wrong color. They wearing green. And anybody who played for Boston is an enemy to anybody who supported Lakers. That's just the way it is. So yeah, this might, you know, because they talk bad about the Lakers after we get sweep. Oh, they talked us bad, and we had to sit down and shut up and take it. So yeah, I was a little nervous after game 6. I called my cousin who lives in Miami. I said, girl, Y'all gonna fool right around and let Boston make history on y'all. She said, no, I have faith in my team. I said, I'm glad you got faith in them, because after as bad as Butler was playing, I wasn't too sure they was going to be able to pull that one out. But anyhow, I didn't waste enough time talking about that. Congratulations to all of you Miami Heat fans out there. Just for the record, I'm not a Miami Heat fan, but anybody who play against Boston, I pull it eye with y'all. So congratulations to the Miami Heat and your successful bid for the Eastern Conference Championship. Way to go. Now, quite frankly, I think y'all stand a chance against Denver. Y'all can get beat bad. Because that big white man, who is called a joker, he don't joke. So I really can't see y'all going no further than this, but I could be wrong. But anyway, congratulations to you all. All right, so let's get down to business now. Now that I've talked foolishness for the past couple of minutes, the topic that we're going to be discussing today is one that is receiving quite a bit of attention, not just here in the Bahamas, but really in many other territories as well. But here in the Bahamas, it sort of came back up again after the 50th anniversary celebrations ecumenical service, in which Pastor Rex Major had some comments. And his comments, some of which were directed in the whole question of marital rape, incensed some people here, women activists, not surprisingly. And they reached out to me and said, we would like an opportunity to respond to what he had to say. So I said, okay, let's do it. So in fairness, I'm going to go ahead and play the clip, which, with highlights from what Pastor Major had to say as he delivered the sermon for that particular ecumenical service. So let's go ahead and open up that clip, and here we go.
I'm supposed to say this, but I'm troubled by the concept of the rape in the house, because people could lie. And the easy way to get rid of this husband, which I don't want anymore, I can tell people he raped me. Now how you gonna prove it? His sperm is there anyway, all the time. What's the proof? And don't fool yourself. Some people will get rid of you like that. This is a critical issue here, very critical. People lie. And they have liars with them. Because we don't want this man no more. I got my eye on something fresh. I'm serious. Let's be careful how we tread this road here now. We must stand against sexual relations between man and woman. But we must treat them as human beings and try to win them back to the ways of God. That the family as a unit is not self-contained. Rather, the individual family has need of continuing support from other families and from individuals within the wider community. Also, the church must do its utmost to support, nurture, and equip individuals and families for growth in Christian discipleship.
All right. Now that we've heard the comments, let me go ahead and introduce the ladies who have showed up for this panel. Quite a few of them are here with us today. And so I would like to welcome to the show Ginger Jenkins, Siobhan Hollis, Hadassah Johnson, and Patricia Hannah Carey. Ladies, welcome to you all.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to do before we dive right in,
Good afternoon.
I'm going to let you all give a brief introduction of yourselves in terms of what you do as it relates to being an activist for women and children. So Siobhan, seeing that you were the ones who helped to put this together, let's start with you. I need you to go ahead and just give us a brief intro as to who you are and your, what you do.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Bahamas. And thank you again, Michelle, for having us to utilize our voice on your platform. I'm no stranger to the platform. I am a child advocate. I am also a woman advocate. I am also the founder of 242 Domestic Violence Support Network. And also, I am a certified child sexual abuse facilitator and a co-founder of Save Our Children Alliance in the Bahamas. If I can say just briefly, I just wanted to put a little plug in that today I am reminded of a famous quote by Jean-Paul Sartre. And it says, every word has consequences. Every silence too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Hold on. I got something going on here that doesn't need to be going. Just close that out for me, please, Jason. All right. So, okay. Next, we have Patrice Hanna-Carey. Patrice, can you briefly introduce yourself for me, please?
Good afternoon, all. Michelle, thank you for having us back. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us back here with you, especially on this very most important topic. I am Patrice Hanna-Carey, the founder of the Hanna-Carey Cares Foundation, which is a national and community-based foundation dealing directly with the socio and economic state of our country affairs. And so that connects us to child advocacy, women advocacy, and so forth. We deal with education, we deal with culture, we deal with family, we deal with structure. And so thank you so much for having me here.
All right, Hadassah Johnson, let's get you introduced. Did you mute yourself? Yes, you muted yourself. Go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Shalom to all. Thank you for having me here once again. It's Malcolm. It's a pleasure of mine to be here. I am Hadassah Johnson. I am a child advocate. I am a volunteer with Rise Bahamas, a member with COCA. I assist Siobhan with Save the Children Alliance, and I'm also a member of Women United. So I'm also a woman's advocate by virtue that I am a woman. And so I will always stand for us.
Okay. And last but by no means least, Ginger, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience, please. You're also muted. So I think, no? Why can't we hear you? I'm not sure why we can't hear you because you're not muted from what I see, but we're not hearing you. Jason, do you need to open anything? No what? What does that mean? Huh? Yeah, but we can't hear her. Go ahead, Ginger, talk. Okay, I don't know what's going on, why we can't hear you. Huh? Okay, I'm not sure what's happening with you, Ginger, why we can't hear you. You might want to work on that in the meantime, because he's saying that it's not from our end that we can't hear you. And I see where your microphone is not muted, but for some reason we're not hearing you. Okay, so while we work on that, let's get this conversation started. So ladies, you heard what the good pastor had to say. I made sure to play the clip to remind you in case you had forgotten or didn't hear it yourself firsthand. Your thoughts. A man says people is lie, so how you gonna prove it? A man's sperm is there anyway. How you gonna prove it's rape? And some of y'all just want to get rid of the man out out your life. And so this is the convenient way to do it. What are your thoughts on that, ladies? Anybody can jump in.
Afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Jason, hold on. Jason, you sure this ain't from outside? You muted yourself again? Siobhan, you're muted. Okay, go ahead now.
Yeah, I unmute, but okay. Thank you so much. Like I said, after listening, like most of you have, to the pastor's comment, I was deeply disturbed as I felt the wording doing such a momentous occasion was unwarranted. I found them to be profoundly disturbing and very insensitive. And when I say insensitive, me first being a woman, secondly, a married woman, and thirdly, an advocate for and a voice for victims of such situation, I would encourage their pastor to have a conversation with a victim of such situation. I myself had, as an advocate, people share stuff that they perhaps never reported. So I think that comment that was made was not in good taste. I feel that it was insensitive. Not sure if the pastor do have daughters, but it was very insensitive. And, I feel that the antiquated mindsets in the country has to be changed. This is a very sensitive topic indeed. And we all have to be responsible, whether we are leaders, whether we are advocates, we have to be responsible in our response when it comes to rape itself, which last time I checked is a crime. Rape is rape, and marriage does not give any spouse the license to rape their significant other. So we have a long way to go. I feel this topic, we are here again. We've been on the show before discussing this, but I think we need all persons at the table, from married to single, the pastors, everyone. I feel like not everyone who needs to be in the room is invited in the room. So I am willing, whenever I'm back in the Bahamas or whether it's virtually, to come to the table and to discuss and be a voice for the voiceless, also for those that are afraid to speak up. Like you would have mentioned, it's not just unique to the Bahamas. Right now, this is a global topic. I know the U.S. has passed in certain states, have the laws being considered. Some has been, I would say, revised. I think it doesn't hurt for us to have a sensible, mature conversation about this topic without making a very strong accusation against, without having any empirical evidence that woman can use it as, I guess, a scapegoat to get rid of a man. While he may have, he might have a point there. However, we don't, we can't judge and we don't know the mindsets of persons. And yes, he is correct. Everyone lies when it's beneficial to them. But we have to be very responsible in our response. And what was so disturbing, seeing, some of the audience just smiling and giggling as if it was funny. Like I always repeat, we have to consider the victims and women who may be going through it at this time and is trying to find a way to come forward or report. So that's what I'll say for now. Thank you.
Anybody else want to chime in?
Yes, I would go. Again, when I first heard the comments coming from the pastor, now first I was shocked because I wasn't aware that he was still with us. Oh, to hear something like that, I was like, after not hearing from him for so long, I could have really done without hearing those comments. my initial response, and I wrote this on Facebook, and every post that I saw, those response was ignorant and idiotic. For the mere fact that right now in this country, that the filing of divorce is predominantly women, without having a rape charge or rape accusation or rape being in law to say you can rape in a marriage. Women are filing for divorce. So they don't need to have to say, well, oh, he raped me to get a divorce or to get rid of you. You understand? So I thought that was very ignorant. And I wouldn't say disappointed, because we have already heard the narrative that's coming from some of the pastors. So that was in line with them. But what needs to happen is that the good pastor needs to be educated. He needs to first be educated as to what is rape. Because obviously, and I think that's the major thing, it sounds as if a lot of the clergy in the Bahamas do not know what rape is. Because if you and your wife, like I heard some of them say, me, my wife, and then I touch her, that's rape. If you in bed and you touch your wife and she called rape, you and your wife have problems, serious problems. That's bigger than her calling rape that you all are not dealing with. So I think there's a lot of education that needs to be done with the clergy. And I am so sorry for females that sit in some of these assemblies with the mindset of their pastors. Because right now, hearing something like that, if you are dealing with a situation in your marriage, who are you going to talk to? Because if he's thinking you lie, how are you going to feel comfortable going to them to speak? And it's just ignorant. It is really sad. It's bad. It should have never come out of his mouth. And you know what is so disturbing? The Bahamas, I saw a post, a news clipping, that the Bahamas is #1, I think, in the world for rape. We are actually living in a rape culture. The Bahamas has rape culture. Because, and for reasons that it's like, these pastors don't understand the power they hold. When they say things like that, it's like you are encouraging men to treat their wives in a certain way, in an abusive manner. And it's shameful. And I cry shame on the pastor. I cry shame on you, sir. I could have done without hearing those comments from you after not hearing from you in such a long time. So I personally, as Sophie Johnson, cry shame on you. And I'm sorry for the females in your congregation.
Okay. Now we're having some issues with our Facebook connection. So we're definitely up on our YouTube channel. So if you're having an issue connecting with us on Facebook, we're trying to get back connected, but we're having some issues. StreamYard is saying that it is a Facebook issue and not from their end. So hopefully we'll get that sorted out soon. Okay, so I see where Ginger is trying to get back into the stream. In the meantime, Patrice, let's hear from you.
Listen, you know, there's a certain analogy we say in our culture. We say, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. And his statement, the great reverend there, was so applicable to crying until it makes it laughable. Because when we make general statements that people just lie and they could lie, we understand that. It's a human concept and a human nature to lie, steal, cheat, whatever it may be. We're not doubting those things, right? But when we look at the fact of you classifying it all under that, then that weighs very heavily, especially on let me put this clearly, a detrimental topic as rape. Because rape and abuse, it doesn't even at that, not necessarily at that moment, leads to death, but the depression from it, the backlash from it, the route that people's lives take, many instances it changes forever, and they're unable to go back. And so he cannot put all of that into one box. So definitely I don't agree. That's why I'm here to stand up today on behalf of the women of my nation and women around the world. I've been married for 29 years. Have I ever been raped? Even within marriage? Never. Would I ever say that I'm raped if I'm not raped? No, but it doesn't mean that other women may not. But what I want to bring to the public's attention now is there are so many instances that we have been having in our nation, not only as it relates to rape, but abuse in general. And then we cry out, we make so much notice and so much petitions, and we say, speak up about it, just say something about it. Don't stay in the situation. If you know you're in trouble, if it could be a volatile situation, let us know. Reach out to anywhere that you can get help. And what message then are we sending to them when at the same time we're telling them to speak out? We're telling them, oh, we're not going to hear you because there's a possibility it could be a lie. I'm actually very glad it came from clergy and not from government, to be sincere with all of you and the general public. Because I think that the Reverend there is confusing biblical laws with national law, country law, what should be done in legislation. No doubt, many of them believe that there is no such thing as rape within a marriage. And I would put that on the classification of the marriage. I want individuals, as they go through this topic, this is like a heated, it's very heated inside, and it weighs so heavily. And they tend to want to sway it so deeply to the right or so deeply to the left, but we have to remain balanced in this. And the only balance of it is that we have to put legislation in place that's going to work for all. And there should not be rape in marriage, but there is, even as we speak now, rape going on in marriages. So we want to be able to put legislation in place to provide protection in those instances.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more to say. I don't know if you want me to continue, Michelle, or you want to come back in.
Well, let's get now that Ginger is back on the stream. Let's see if we can get her audio situation sorted, if that's been sorted since she's gone out and come back in. Ginger, let's hear from you.
Hi.
Okay, great. We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ginger Jenkins. I'm an advocate for women, children, and the elderly. I am the chairman for Protect the Children. It's an organization that was recently formed because of different ideologies that are overtaking our nation. I am a foster mom and a person that fights for rights and a voice for women that are afraid to speak out. I really do want to come back on your show again, so I have to curve my words politely. I don't want to be barred. But listening to that clip from the good old Reverend Major, if someone said Reverend Major raped them, it's truly a lie. But when a husband rapes a wife, and rape is edible, it can happen, it shows control. That statement that the good old Reverend made, to me, that was coaching law enforcement to rethink when a woman walk into their station and report rape. That is clearly something that it's a seed that he is planting. Now, are all women raped? Yes, because if I say no, no is no. And sex is consensual. If I don't want you to touch me, I don't want you to touch me. If we are Christians, let's pray about it. Maybe prayer changes things. But at the end of the day, I feel that there is a such thing as marital rape. There is a such thing as rape. There is a such thing as rape abusive. So therefore, I don't think we should slice the pie in slices that we feel is comfortable for us to eat it. let's slice the pie right. As a Christian, Reverend Major, you preach sin is sin. If sin is as big as a mustard seed, it is considered sin. So why are you justifying rape? Whether you're married or whether you're not, anything that is unconsensual between two adults is considered rape.
I want to read a comment from one of our Facebook viewers and get your feedback on this, ladies. One Michael Taylor says, I believe the narrative should be changed to marital abuse. It seems that a lot of people who are opposing this implementation have a problem with the two words being together, marital and rape. So, like Mr. Taylor, they're suggesting that you say marital abuse. What are your thoughts on that, ladies? Why is that problematic for you?
Because abuse can be emotional, physical, mental, victimizing as abuse. I feel that if he wants to change the narrative, then the narrative should be changed.
Somebody's microphone is open and we're getting some feedback from you. Go ahead, Ginger, finish the point. And then we have a caller on the line.
We want to change the narrative. I think the narrative should be marital assault. Because once you're raped, you have been assaulted. You have become a victim. Abuse is too broad of a spectrum of a word. But when you are assaulted, it is targeted.
Okay, let's hear from our cell phone caller, and then I want to get the other ladies' opinion on the matter. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Lady Malcolm. How you doing?
Hey, you take long to call.
You know I can call.
Of course.
I ain't no feminist movement or no male movement or nothing. But I am appalled by the statements of what's supposed to be all of these intelligent women on the show, because none of them make no sense yet. First of all, when you talk about consent, those couples give consent at the onset of their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Their vows gives consent.
Okay.
How come in a relationship, if the marriage goes good, sex is okay, but if someone come home a little giddy one night, all of a sudden is rape? You understand me? And to those ladies, how you came out with a question? How will you prove rape in a marriage? How can you prove that? That is a big question, because like the pastor says, a man's sperm is supposed to be round in his wife's body. You understand? And I saw nothing wrong with what the pastor say. And I ain't no chauvinist, and I don't condone violence. I do not condone that in any form. But there was nothing wrong. You know why? Because there are a myriad of things in that drawer that can go wrong in a marriage. But because y'all speaking about marital rape, he picked that one out, and he chose to respond. He said, people is blind, and that is the truth. He didn't say anything wrong. People do lie. It may not be everybody, and I give you a test case. The test case is Johnny Depp and Amber Depp. People do lie. So he said nothing wrong. Now, one of your panelists said rape. Rape is one of the words in the dictionary that is largely abused and used, because in the English language, we borrow words and stuff from all of the different languages and cultures, and we don't ever find out where it comes from. And I know they hear me said this before. Rape comes from the Latin word rapere and the Roman word raptus. That word means to steal, to seize, or to carry away. You ever hear old people say, Lord, look how they rape and pillage that village. See, marriage there, look how they rape and pillage that village.
Mm-hmm.
Rape is an action word. It's more like a fighting word. You understand? What these women are speaking about is sexual intercourse, violence during sexual intercourse in a marriage. Sexual intercourse is the actual penetration of a man or a woman, not rape. Rape means something else. So I don't know why, and the fact that they keep overlooking is there are laws because of the sanctity of marriage. Marriage is supposed to be a good thing, but because of the sanctity of marriage, the law put one or two steps in there that these women refuse to acknowledge. If you want to prove rape, you got to go to the police and have evidence and a repeated pattern. Married people can't do that because of the sanctity of marriage. But they refuse to. Oh, I got better.
But I don't want you. You have a habit of running off after you drop your bomb. Don't run off, okay? Stay on.
Yeah, tell him to stay on.
They refuse to go to the court to get a restraining order so that rape can be used in a situation like abuse in a marriage.
If you live in a house with a man, what does a restraining order do for you?
But you have to get a restraining order because you have to get licenses and stuff to get in a marriage, and the only way you can get out of marriage is you have to replace it.
But how? But you're not. If you live in the same house with the person, how do you get a restraining order? Does that restraining order then require that person to leave the home?
That's it. I mean, that is
I'm just asking a simple question.
That's a question.
Yeah, my daddy go on to wake one morning. He get wake up in the house with a woman. Go on to wake one morning, and by the time as he reached wake and open up his business, the police was there with the summons, with the order.
Mm-hmm.
With the same woman he sleeping the night before.
Mm-hmm. So
that is how it's done. You go if you think your marriage is toxic.
So he was not able to return to the house. Is that what you're saying to me?
He could have gone to the house, but he had to return to the house under different conditions, Lady Malcolm. He couldn't touch that woman.
Okay.
Because the court, the state stepped in.
Now, before the ladies jump in, let me just say this, okay? You mentioned the case of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, and I'm glad you brought that up because she made that man's life a living hell for years, saying that he was a wife beater, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he finally had enough, and he decided to take her to court. Well, the thing is, when you go to court, you have to prove that what you're saying is truth. Anybody watching that trial knew that she was lying. Yeah. So let me finish. I let you talk.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
So the court ruled against her. And everybody saw her for what she was, a liar. Okay? Nobody is saying that because somebody accuses someone else of rape, that's automatic. You have to prove it. Now, the same thing applies whether you are in marriage or outside of marriage. Rape is a very difficult thing to prove. And you said something about a pattern. It ain't gonna be no pattern. It ain't gonna be no pattern.
In marriage, it should.
My point is, Dr. P, anyway, my point is this. When you say a pattern within marriage, there could be a pattern of abuse that ends in a violent act, a violent sexual act.
That's right.
But it's the first time for everything. So if she decides as a woman, I'm not going to let this get to the place where this is a pattern. I'm not going to sit here and allow myself to be the victim of abuse time and time and time and time again. She should not have the right to bring forward those charges because this is the first time it's happened.
Oh, yes, I agree. I totally agree. If he hit her once and she say, I'm going to get a restraining order, I am all for that. But the panelists and the marital rape people don't, it seems like they don't want to accept that. You got to go get a restraining order. You can't go to the police.
Let's let these ladies chime in while we have you on the line.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't know how. If you what? We have another call?
Michelle, allow me, please.
Please
allow me, please. Y'all, please allow me. Even listening to the gentleman just now, and I'm glad he made so many declarative points. We realize a thing about our society. They really believe that women are property. They have us on the level like they have a vehicle, like they have some special outfit. You don't get to tear us down and pick us up as you choose. Listen carefully to me, please. Now, listen to you. You can respond after. Hiding our truth with lies will not work again. You see, I did not say that the great reverend was wrong. What I said in particular was that the reverend, if he's speaking from a biblical standpoint, then that's great, but he needs to speak now to where our society is at. And our society currently is dealing with issues such as marital rape, which is specifically the unconsensual abusive sex, okay, but also the abusive tendencies that goes along with it. So therefore, you can beat me black and blue or stab me or decide that you're going to bring 100 women inside the house and sleep with all of those in the front of me and then turn around and ask me for it. Push your uncircumcised penis, filthy penis inside of me. And even at that, if I say no, that's no, because I don't know what's going on. You see, at the end of the day, we are setting parameters and standards for whom?
Dr. P, stop running. Stop running. Stop running from a discussion.
No, he can't run. He started his fire. He can't run. He started his fire.
We can't pretend any longer to have happy homes. Okay? The same way how we have happy homes, we have unhappy homes. The same way how we have healthy marriages, we have unhealthy marriages. And what you're failing to consider, I'm so glad you put your own story into being, because you said, oh, listen, when my dad went to work.
Patrice, we can't hear you. You close Patrice's microphone. Why are you close to one microphone?
Tell me that's something else, man.
No. See, okay. Let me
Michelle,
just say this. Hold on,
he
Patrice.
bring up your own story, you know.
Hold on, Patrice. Hold on. Let me say this. Gentlemen, I want you to hear me well. Please hear me well. And I'm going to be very calm when I say this.
I am so.
Y'all need to stop trying to make women feel as if they are inferior or less intelligent because they speak emotively. That is very insulting to women. Oh, she's an angry woman, so I don't engage her. She's an angry woman. Y'all need to stop that. Stop that.
I might sound angry here, but I'm a great and loving wife. I got 29 years underneath my belt and counting. I'm blessed. I'm happy and blessed.
Very loud and very aggressively. Y'all don't call him emotional or tell him he need to calm down.
No, they don't do that. They don't hold their counterpart
the way she
accountable.
desires to express herself because she is rightfully angry. And see, what y'all don't seem to understand,
I don't know a woman.
it's that as a man, you cannot tell me as a woman how I'm supposed to feel or react to something as a woman because you don't go what women go through. And likewise, we can't tell you as a man how you should feel or react to a particular circumstance because you are a man. But to dismiss what she is saying, because that's an angry woman and she got problems, she got issues outside. That is very insulting.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Y'all meant to hear
Come
me.
scan my life. I'm blessed. I'm happy, sir. It was not referring to me.
Miss Malcolm, can I speak with him, Miss Malcolm?
Ginger, just give me a moment because I'm not finished, please.
Tree.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not finished.
But I open Patrice's
please
close the microphone, please.
Because I'm not done.
What Patrice had to say because I'm
my thing is though, I don't want us to use religion to hide our nakedness anymore. Adam and Eve, they were already in the garden. They were trying to use it to hide their nakedness, but they couldn't hide it in the garden. Okay? We have to consider the impact that this is having on the victims. We have to consider the impact it is having in all those around. We have other individuals might be a part of that family. Also, there are children that are growing up to think that this is the way that it is supposed to be, and these things are wrong. You said of your own mouth, listen, daddy went to work. The police was on the job with the whatever it was, and he had to straighten up or fly right. I'm saying, so here it is now, and you sound like a very senior gentleman. So right all the way back in your time, and we still dealing with this up and now, and you all refuse to let us just address it with legislation. Certainly, we need to put in place a proper family court that is going to do proper investigation and do things right. We're not saying just handicap it. But at the same time, there's no way we are telling our victims to come out and speak so that they won't suffer.
Patrice,
And then
Patrice, let him respond. Let him respond. Hold on, Dr. P. Hadassah, your microphone is muted. Okay, you need to unmute that. Go ahead, Dr. P. Say what you got to say.
Well, this isn't Dr. P. This is the GNN. But I'll take Dr. P.
Okay.
I'm going to say one thing, that the conversation don't go in the direction, and Lady Malcolm, I said her on your show the last time when you had the same topic.
Right.
To every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now, we know, I agree with the ladies, that there's a more prevalency towards the female spouse being raped or abused in a marriage. That is much more prevalent than what happens to men. Now, with this cry for marital rape, let's just say we pass this law, which I don't have a problem with if that's what you want to, but what the equal and opposite reaction is going to be more prevalent towards the female now is when the man asks you once and you say no, I ain't into that for whatever reason, and you say it twice and you say it 3 times. Legally, in case y'all women or whoever out there don't know, that man now has a right to go to his lawyer and ask for a divorce or separation out of that marriage because of deprivation, sexual deprivation.
Okay.
And that's all I want to say.
Okay, yes, that's right. Hadassah, yeah, your mic was muted. Go ahead.
Yes. Let me say this. I want to address the religious aspect first. There are 613 laws that the Most High gave to Yashrael, and none of them gave any man the right to abuse or sexually violate his wife. None. So I don't know what religious law they can use it, but they cannot use the biblical law for it. None of them. 613. Because from the beginning, it was that a man was to love and treat her like he treated himself. That's why Adam said, she is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. And so like one apostle wrote, who can go and hurt himself? Who mistreat himself? So there's no biblical standing that gives the religious leader or any other man the right to misuse, abuse his wife, or to rape her. Secondly, when you're talking about sexual assault does not necessarily have to include or doesn't necessarily include intercourse. So that is why the word rape is necessary, because rape speaks of sexual intercourse, a forced act. Rape is an act of violence. It is an act of control and a dominance and power. And let me say this. I have difficulties with people who say, oh, man cannot rape his wife, but you believe and you know that men can beat their wives. So the very same energy, and we accept that. Once upon a time, that was okay. The very same energy that a man has, that he can beat his wife, and that same moment, the end of it, that he can sexually assault her, which is how it normally happens. You then beat her now, beat her down, and to show your further control or power over her, it's now where you have intercourse with her. That's where the rape comes in.
We have 2 callers on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
And to your guest, the show is very good. But I would like to suggest that it would be good if you get the pastor on with these ladies. That would be a good thing to have. So that's a suggestion, because it's really hot. You'll continue doing your best.
Thank you
God
for calling.
bless.
All right. We have another call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Mother Michelle.
Yes.
This is me.
I mix you up with somebody else.
You mix me with Mother Michelle. Oh, Jesus, you lie on me.
No, I apologize, Dr. P.
Anyway, I want to say hi to all the girls.
Ladies,
sorry.
Casino girls on this panel, we are all women.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you all doing?
Everybody's good.
Well, you're scared to talk.
No, ain't scared. Go ahead. You eating up time.
No, we ain't scared. We waiting on you.
No. I'm not going to deal. I can wait till the great man who came out of retirement to set the nation straight. He spoke the word of God. I am in support with him. The whole truth, nothing but the truth. People do lie for their convenience. Pastor Rex Major remind me of the great one, Dr. Miles Monroe. The enemy is trying to replace traditional marriage, traditional relationship. That's a fact. The facts is there. The evidence is clear. And I do agree with Madam Michelle last week that she said some people married for convenience. It was never ordained by God. So this is where we are having the clash. Because if it was ordained by God, we will not be having this discussion. The enemy is trying to attack the covenant of God. That's all I have to say today.
All right. Thanks for calling, Dr. Payne. Again, I apologize for mixing you up with the other caller. My apologies.
And Michelle, you see, he is correct in what he is saying in terms of if it was just all godly, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. But we're not dealing with all godly. We're dealing with our society. And when it comes to legislature, it actually have to be put in place for who you are dealing with. So if we have immigration issue, we got to put legislation in place for immigration. We have racist issue, we got to put that in there. Like whatever it is, we have to put legislature in place for it. And this is unfortunately where we're at now in our society.
Okay,
marital rape is real.
Siobhan has been wanting to say something real quick. Make it quick, Siobhan, because we're like 2 breaks behind. It's already 3 o'clock. Go ahead, Siobhan. Or do you want me to come back to you after the break? Actually, we may have to because she's frozen. Her camera is frozen. All right, let's take this break. We're gonna hold on, Siobhan.
Taking a break, that's what I have to say.
Okay?
Take a break. That's one
Let's take this break, and then when we come back, we'll hear from Siobhan Hollis. We're talking about marital rape today. No surprising that this is a hot show because this is a very emotive topic. I'm just so saddened that in 2023, we're still having conversations like this, particularly at a time when it has been shown that the Bahamas has a very serious problem with the whole concept of rape culture. We'll be back after these words from sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paint, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Yo, 99.5.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here. We are now reconnected to my official Facebook page, even though we're having difficulty reconnecting to the Global 99.5 FM page. But we're streaming live on Facebook on my official page, as well as on our YouTube channel. You can call us at 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages and calls is 8010271, 8010271. You can also catch us on radio on Global 99.5 FM here in New Providence, and also airing in Grand Bahama. And also we are on Cable Bahamas channel 974. Definitely check us out there. All right, so let's get these ladies back into the stream. Let's see. Okay, Siobhan, prior to the break, there was something that you wanted to say, and I said we should take a break first. Go ahead and let's hear from you, Siobhan. Everybody else, okay, let's hear from you, Siobhan.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me clear?
We can hear you perfectly, yes.
Okay, sure. Thank you. So whilst my dear colleague were talking, my heart was palpitating. I so wanted to answer the previous gentleman before the last one. But if something, a famous quote by Booker T. Washington, a lie doesn't become truth, wrong doesn't become right, and evil doesn't become good just because it's accepted by a majority. I am not surprised at all with the level of mature discourse in this country. And I say this, as a woman, it seems that we always come under some form of name calling or attack as advocates. And that does not stop me. It does not shut me up. I am a fighter. So to the previous gentleman, I will speak my truth. I don't speak on behalf of myself, but I speak on behalf of victims who I would have shared stuff with me, and I speak as an advocate. So the name calling and all of that is unnecessary. I'll give you the quick definition of rape according to lawteaching.net. It says marital rape.
Once you're done with this, we have a caller that's waiting, okay? So go ahead.
It says marital rape, i.e. spousal rape, is defined as any unwanted sexual act by a spouse or ex-spouse committed without consent, keyword consent, and or against a person's will, obtained by force, the threat of force, intimidation, or when a person is unable to consent. Thank you.
Okay, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, good afternoon. And I truly as concerned as the ladies are about physical abuse of women and of children. However, the ruling that you are referring to, you're turning it into a local thing of cheating on your wife, or it is the UN that is pushing this law. There are countries where young girls, like Pakistan, are forced to marry old men that beat them and rape them. There are countries in certain parts of Africa where they sew young girls up with this sort of a thick thread, and then when they marry them all, the men penetrate them without even taking the thread out. Okay? When you kill your young wife in Pakistan, it's considered a crime of honor. All I'm asking you ladies is to take the debate out of the Bahamas and understand it in a universal context. It sounds too much like, like a local problem. It is not a local problem. There are countries where young girls and women are brutally treated. Let's go back to slavery. How were our ancestors treated? They were raped incessantly. There were no laws to protect those women. Okay, and all these hues and colors we have, they are reminders of rape. We have to remember that rape has been going on. And I agree with you. And there's nothing worse than abusing a child or a woman. But I believe we must remember that it is something way outside of our country and take the debate higher. And I think the men will understand. I really do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. I actually have a clip that we're going to play a little later on from outside the Bahamas. But let's go back to Siobhan. Siobhan, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, before Ginger come on, I wanted to say to the caller that we did mention that it's not unique. I did to the Bahamas. I have done my research, so it is not unique to us. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that. A lot going on here. Okay. All right. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Please turn down your radio or whatever you're listening to us on, and just listen through your phone.
Hello, yes, how are you? Interesting show. I was just thinking about a scenario of exactly what you ladies are talking about when it comes to marital rape. It's going to be difficult to prove that a woman says that the man raped her based on the fact that they are married, but we know that it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
My situation is simply this. If a woman feels that the man has raped her, couldn't she just put it before the court that the man has raped her and she does not want to be in the marriage anymore and have the marriage dissolved?
No, it's not that simple.
Why isn't it that simple? Because if it is, look at this, these people literally got married, were in love at some point in their life, decided that one day the guy is bad, he decided to force himself on his wife after she repeatedly said no, she's not into it at that time.
But our law does not allow that to be called
our law. But since we're going to have to change the law, looking to change the law, this is where I'm coming from.
Uh-huh.
So if that's the case, and you feel that Ronnie took it from you and you didn't want to have sex with him, shouldn't you then be able to go to the police station? Look here, my husband forced me into having sex with him. I no longer want to be with this man. File the court proceedings and dissolve the marriage, and that's the end of that. I don't think the criminalization of something like this makes any sense because, first of all, it's going to be a waste of taxpayers' money to try to prove something like this, to say that he said, she said cases are very difficult.
But caller, what you're saying doesn't make sense because you're saying the police need to act on something that is not against the law.
One more time. We're talking about a solution to how this can be done now.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about the after because apparently we don't seem to have solutions going on around here. I'm giving a simple solution that would actually be so easy that we would see where the marriage is dissolved, the guy gets to leave, the woman leaves the man, get rid of him because he's a no good man because he didn't want to acquiesce to her demands that she didn't want to have sex.
But I think
the marriage would then be dissolved. And there would be no more case.
But I think this is why some of the men are so opposed to this because to them that's too easy. It would be, hold on, Carla. It would, I think some men believe that it would be too easy for a woman to get out of a marriage by just going and making an accusation.
But a real marriage, a real marriage wouldn't happen like that, because if that woman truly loves that man, she ain't gonna do that.
Well, that's been my argument all along. If you treat your woman with love and dignity, and you love her the way Christ loved the church.
If a man truly loves the woman, he won't abuse the woman. So that's the tactic that we use constantly. We say, oh, if a woman truly love a man, then she won't go through that. But that's why the women them staying in the house now, taking all the abuse. That's why the women them staying in the house now, because they're saying that if they stand up for their rights, they don't love their husband. That's not the case. That's not the case.
Patrice, hold on. Go ahead, caller.
A real man who loves his wife and she isn't feeling it would never take it, because we don't operate on that level. Okay? Now, if the man does that to you, there apparently has already been cracks in that marriage already that had led to that moment.
Right.
So then we can have the solution to say that, okay, ma'am, since you know that this fella ain't listening, he been acting crazy all the time, he keep doing this foolishness, then we can go file the proceedings at court, dissolve the marriage because he took it from you. Case closed. He goes way, you go your way. That's the end of that.
That's not how it goes. We're not looking to destroy. We're not looking to destroy marriages just like that. What it is that it's a revealing of the issue. There is a penalty that can come in place. That is where the legislation comes in place, where we make a decision on what is actually going to be the penalty for something like this. Is it the same penalty and according to the grievousness of the crime? If someone is beaten to the point of death, they may need to then spend some time. If it is a case where there is a reoccurring situation, there may need to be counseling. You can't start trying to put it on one extreme spectrum or the next one. Oh, if I gotta be raping you, then just divorce me. Who does that? Who does that? Why gotta be a divorce?
Patrice, with all due respect, if I say hold on, hold on. I'm not gonna have the show deteriorate to the point where everybody is screaming at the top of their lungs and nobody is heard. That is counterproductive. So if I say to you, hold on, you stop. Okay, that's why I'm sitting in the seat. I don't want this to become a shouting match.
Apologies, Michelle. Yes, I understand.
Okay, now, caller, what she is suggesting is that is not enough, because if you, it depends on the level of the abuse. If you have terribly brutalized somebody, you just getting out of a marriage is not necessarily sufficient of a penalty for you to face.
Okay.
That is what she's trying to suggest.
I understand exactly what she's saying. Now, if we tone it down and just listen to what I'm saying.
Right.
If it got to that point, it was apparently that there was a lot of errors and problems already in that marriage. It isn't going to come on one day where nice guy Ron comes home and one day, out of the clear blue sky, grabs his wife and beat her against the wall and rape her. That does not happen. Okay?
Okay.
That would have to mean that there was a serious long line of situations that occurred that led to the deterioration in the marriage to the point where it became extremely violent.
Agreed.
What I'm saying is, if she feels at a certain point that, look here, man, my monthly is on, I can't do it right now. I don't feel too good. I'm bloated. X, Y, Z. I don't feel like having sex today. So a decent man would be, no problem, honey. You need something? Let me, what's wrong? You're sick? That's the decent man. The inconsiderate man who goes ahead and takes it anyway, the solution could be that she then has the right to go to the court, file the proceedings that this man took sex from me when I did not want to have it without consent. The court says, okay, then we will dissolve your marriage and you'll go your way. That is the solution to the end of the whole problem. Because by that time, you know you're not interested in him anymore because he's an inconsiderate beast. But at the same time, you can then go, the system can actually be appeased in a way, whereas you don't have to deal with the court proceeding of a he said, where some lawyer makes a bunch of money trying to prove he'd have sex with me and I didn't want it, and you got to go prove that, which is going to be a very hard case to prove. That's the problem that we're trying to avoid. If there is no longer no love in the marriage, you no longer want to be with that person, you can get out of the marriage if he took sex from you without your consent. We need solutions instead of just saying, oh, and we can find out if you're mad about a man and beat the woman, the wife, and do her that bad. Trust me, that was never marriage. That sound like a hostage situation.
Well, quite frankly, by that time, you have to go through all that. The marriage is already over. But there are some who argue that this is an attack against the family, and they don't want it to be that simple that anybody could get up and accuse a man of rape and then just have a marriage dissolved because of that accusation.
I understand that, but to protect everybody concerned and involved, I think that would be the better solution.
Okay,
because it protects the entire family. Because you do not want to take the case to court and your children got to deal with mommy and daddy fighting in court because he raped her daddy. You would never destroy the family.
Okay, caller, let's let some of our panelists respond to that. I see you shaking your head.
Yes, what comes out, I understand what the caller is saying, but what comes out to me in these conversations is the lack of love and respect in a marriage. You understand? Because if you have love and respect, then again, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having these conversations. When we're talking about marital rape in a marriage, we are talking about a marriage that is already deteriorated. This is a broken marriage. Because we know in a normal, healthy relationship, some woman would say to you, my husband don't even have to ask me for sex. I don't know about a man asking or something like that. You're talking, you're playing, you're laughing. It's normally a normal act. So if your wife one day say to you, baby, I really feel like it right now, where does it come in where you can just rough up and still take it? Something is wrong with that. And so when we talk about marriage, we have to look at the marriage in itself. What has been happening in the marriage? And what I hear coming from a lot of men, it's scary. It is scary. It is scary. What they've been saying in regards to that's my wife or whatever. How do you treat your wife? Why would your wife even go and say so? This is some of the things they have to look at. Why your wife? Why you think if you touch your wife, she can call rape? Look at your marriage relationship. Sex is supposed to be about two people who are loving and enjoying each other and fulfilling each other. And I don't get that coming across when I hear these men speak. And it is scary. It is scary what they've been, when they talk about marriage, they talk about their marriage. What kind of sexual relationship these people have been having? Because it doesn't sound as if the marriage, it sounds like it's something you do just because, oh, you married, you my husband, I have to do it. Sex is supposed to be two people who love each other.
We have two callers on the line. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Welcome.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you and your guests.
Good afternoon.
We still have this argument being last week when I maybe addressed this last week.
Mm-hmm.
When something is not biblical, I don't care. You could be the Pope, Bishop, whoever. If you just say things because you want to say it, well, that's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
When something is not biblical, and I stand by that. Now, marriage is something that when we use this word, you have your wife belong to you. Bible stated that we don't own nobody. I don't own my wife. She don't own me. We trying to find out if there's an elephant in the room, and there's an elephant in the room. That's what we are talking about. Does marriage get into rape? Yes, it happened. And we must, I don't know, people don't understand this. This is a simple question. Does married people goes in and you can rape your wife? It happened. When we look at, we try to quote these scriptures. So what the Bible said? Ephesians 5:25. Husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. Wife, be submissive unto your own husband. Then he go on and 1 Timothy 5:8. If, just God now, if a husband do not take care of his home, he's like an infidel, especially them with a household of faith. So you can tell me, this man, he want to take care of his home. This man, he love his wife, but he only want his pleasure when he come home anytime. It can't happen. It cannot happen. And I don't care. I don't understand why they can't understand and see that. So the law is only there to protect when this problem happen. The law is still the law ain't only for women that in the church. The law is for the whole Bahama, and that's what they have to understand. So because I want my sexual need meet, I come home. I don't know if the woman in pain. The woman could have been in pain all day. She rolling over in pain, and I come home because now I woman roll over and do that. That is wrong. What kind of human being I could be? That is wrong. I should talk to her, find out how was everything, and if she ready to do whatever she and the move or whatever, then we go along with that. That what God put into man and woman. That is for pleasure. That is not to be abused. You don't abuse sex, and people don't understand it. They won't go. See, they think sex is when you just go try to hold on a woman. It's that controlling. The woman just got to hear you call her, and she use with your tone of voice and everything. She's gone giving up her right. She's gone saying, "Oh Lord, I know what he want, but let me just do this anyway to cause his argument." She's not doing it freely. Sex should be freely and not on your term. Both parties should come together, and you'll have a happy home, a happy marriage. You ain't need to go to no court. You ain't need to go none of this. Take care of your home, love your wife, love your children, and this problem is over.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. All right, ladies, before any of you jump in to respond, I'm going to take a break. We have a caller? Okay, caller, welcome to GPS.
Madam Michelle.
Yes.
The gentleman earlier, before that last gentleman, what did he say that Madam Patrice did not understand? I thought as we listen, the 100% alpha male man, we are listening. As we listen, we confirm that that gentleman was so clear on his execution. Madam Michelle, you are an intelligent woman. I've known you now that I remember a long time. Myself and you, we come under strong, structured biblical principle. And there's a spirit of always discernment. Let me use this analogy. This is a temple one. I've been running my enterprise for more than 40 years. And I suspect anyone that even look like a criminal, I raise a red flag. What am I saying? I would salute to anyone that if that relationship is deteriorating, like the brother said earlier, man, raise a red flag. Why you want to be there? Get out of it before someone lose their lives. Get out of it. This is all I hear that brother was executing. And you know I'll break off running when you round me. I like to run.
Let me just say
I
this.
can run on with you. That's all that brother was saying.
No, I
Raise the
understand.
red flag.
I understand.
Listen, there are some constituents, there are some areas in this country that
Let me just say this, Dr. P, and then we really have to take a break because we're really behind.
And listen, let me tell you, let me say this. Stop getting in trouble bringing on this effeminate
Now,
man.
see, now you need to stop running out
And these
calling
effeminate
people names.
pastors,
Stop.
Pastor Rex
Stop.
Major
Stop.
on point.
Stop.
Because too many effeminate men you bring on this radio. Okay.
Dr. B, just because a man don't agree with you, don't make him effeminate, okay? You need to stop that foolishness. Let me just say this. People like to, oh, why don't you just get out of it? If it was that simple, many women wouldn't be dealing with what they dealing with. It ain't that simple. And when you have been beaten down, degraded, treated like you are nothing for so long, and especially if in your mind you don't have any place else to go, and we know in this country there ain't no place to go. It's not that simple. Because if it was that simple, many people who are facing this abuse would have been gone long time. It ain't that simple. And we need to stop oversimplifying this problem. Because by doing so, we trivialize it. And we make every person who is going through this feel even more like less than and less than worthy. So we need to stop that. We got to take a break. We are very, very behind with our breaks. Let's take this break. On the other side, I'm going to play a clip because this isn't just a Bahamian problem, as the lady who called earlier said. I'm going to play a clip from the United States dealing with this very issue, and I want us all to listen to that. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our number one priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
All right, welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. We are streaming live on the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page, as well as the official Michelle Malcolm YouTube channel. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. Okay, and we're also on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. And you can listen to us via radio here on Global 99.5 FM or also in Grand Bahama. Thank you so much to our Grand Bahama audience for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon. Okay, so prior to the break, I promised that I would play a clip that is stemming from outside the United States, dealing with this very same issue. I want you to listen to this.
My name's Jenny Thiessen. My ex-husband had been drugging me, raping me, and videotaped it. He was charged criminally with felony criminal sexual assault. Towards the end of that day, I received a call back from the Anoka County Attorney's Office that the charges had been dropped because there was a loophole that stated if you were married or in a partnership at the time of being unconscious, that you could not be charged. Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes, and I have to tell you that I think Zach is one of them. Zach was constantly coaching me, and I have to say what was so great was his communication with me. Just working through all of this and knowing that he was there by my side was just really incredible.
So that was a promotion for a gentleman who's running for the Senate, talking about Zach McPherson, I think his name is. The lady was talking about how he would have helped to get the law changed in that particular state so there could be on the law books, such a thing as marital rape. But if you hear, I come to you right now, caller, but if you heard what she said at the beginning of that clip, while she was still married to the man drugged her, raped her, videotaped the assault, and he was let off because at that time, no such law was on the book to call that what it was because of the fact that they were still married. These are the kinds of conversations that are very, very difficult to hear. But what we must acknowledge, no matter which side of the divide we find ourselves in this argument, is that not everybody is in a godly, wonderful marriage. You know, we like to jump up and say, oh, you know, the marriage bed is undefiled and whom God put together, let no man put asunder. So everybody in the world then is Christian and following godly principles as it relates to marriage. Everybody in the world, every marriage in the world was put together by God. We need to stop pretending that all is well in every marriage just because it may happen to be in yours. And I don't understand the logic, and maybe because I'm not a man, of saying, oh, we have to be, you know, all the arguments about, you know, how this could impact the man, and y'all don't seem to care about your sisters, your aunts, your female cousins, your daughters who are being so viciously violated. Do they not count? We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. You need to turn down whatever that background noise is, or just listen to us through the radio, please. I mean, through the phone, please.
Michelle.
Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your ladies.
Oh, am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Michael.
Okay, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Michelle, what we are faced with is the continuation of the sale of sexual enhancers. Number one, do you recall some months ago when a young man went home and repeatedly raped his grandmother? Two,
his grandmother or his mother? I remember a case with his mother being raped, yes.
His grandmother, I think.
Okay.
Repeatedly raped her.
Mm-hmm.
But in all Chinese establishments, you have to sell sexual enhancers.
Okay.
You can go to the bar, you can go to the restaurant, you can go to the food store. It is available.
So you're saying that is the reason why this is happening?
Yes, Michelle, because quite frankly, no woman can handle that. If a man takes an enhancer, he goes for hours.
So quite frankly, I think it's a huge mistake to try to explain away this problem with saying, it's because men have taken enhancers. Not everybody who rapes somebody has taken an enhancer. As somebody well pointed out on the panel, this is more so about domination and control. This has very little to do with a man taking an enhancer. I'm not saying that may not happen from time to time, but most of these people who are on here raping people, whether it's outside of marriage or else, it's about domination and control. A lot of these men got mommy issues. They hate women for whatever reason. And this woman in front of them right now is going to pay for whatever woman they actually angry with or have been hurt by. So this is their way of making somebody in their past pay for the damage that's been done to them. That's another scenario. And I'm not saying that's every scenario. But you can't blame the rape culture that we are experiencing in this country on enhancers. I'm sorry, because by doing so, you let men behaving badly off the hook. I can't control this because I took an enhancer and I didn't know I was going to react this way because I take this enhancer. So, come on, man.
But the facts are, it is a situation that is happening.
Yeah, but not to the degree.
What is the solution?
Not to the degree, sir, that we can excuse away an entire culture of rape. There's a reason why the Bahamas is at the top of the list per capita of rapes. Come on.
Please share with me. What is that reason?
Because we have a problem with rape culture where it has been normalized. You hear men joking with each other. Boy, look here. She was acting up, so I had to take it. He. Like this some kind of joke. This is a culture where somebody pointed out earlier, women are seen as chattel possession. I could do with you whatever I want to because you're my woman. And in some cases, you ain't my woman. But I can take control over you. I can show you who's mine.
Michelle, thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. We have another caller. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You and to your guest. It's a very interesting topic, and here it is. I'm a married woman. Also, this is my second marriage because my first marriage, we were in the church and I suffered abuse along with the violent part of, sexual abuse also.
Mm-hmm.
I got out of that. And now I'm in my second marriage and I'm quite happy. We both understand each other's sexual needs. If he's tired, I understand that.
Right.
If I'm tired, he understands that just as well. What I think as male would they need to think of is this: could it be something that triggered them in their past when they were younger, they were raped?
Well, that's what I just said. A lot of this has to do with past. Miss, you need to turn down whatever you're listening to us on because we're getting bad feedback.
And some women also, I think, you would see signs from the beginning. When you see these signs, that's not for you to get involved in that relationship further. You're supposed to discontinue this relationship. There are always signs. And because we overlook these signs as female, this is where we end up in these situations. Also, you have married women in the pulpit. Their husbands are doing these things to them.
This is
They're
true.
afraid to come out and speak.
This is true.
And it's sad. It is very, very sad. And it's something that needs to be dealt with. The law, they need to put something in law for this thing to stop. Because if they don't, it will continue on. And I don't think it's fair.
All right. Thank you for calling. Ladies, anybody want to respond to any of the callers? Go ahead, Ginger. You need to unmute your microphone, please.
You have to, okay. I sat patiently and I listened. One of the things that men have in their head is, I am the head, and you're going to do what I tell you to do. And as my wife, you're supposed to be doing your wifely duty. So that's all in their heads. What I don't understand is, and I'm not going to use the word marital rape now, I'm going to use the word unconsensual married sex. Saying that marital rape is ruffling a lot of feathers. Let's go with the unconsensual married sex. How can a man hold an erection, see that his wife is in anguish, see that she's displeased to have sexual intercourse with her? That is a mental issue. One of the reasons why women in the church, teachers, police officer wives, I can go on and on and on with the list, why they don't report rape, because they think nobody's going to believe them. They are ashamed to have their names published or talked over social media. And because of that, they will not speak out because they have no place to go. People say, well, get out, get out, get out. When a man breaks you down to sand that make you feel that you are less than, and he has imprisoned your mind, where do you go? And we need to have sessions for abused women. We need to have rape treatment trauma centers where women can actually speak out about what's going on within the home. But they're ashamed to do it.
Quite frankly, Ginger, ladies on this panel, Ginger, we're having a problem. I'm going to go ahead and mute you until you're ready. I'm getting some feedback from somewhere. Yeah, I think it was you. The truth is that here in this country, we don't have available resources or shelters where women can run to. We don't. We've been hearing people talk about, oh, we need a house for a home for women and children who are in urgent need. We don't have any such thing available. And in the few cases where there is some kind of shelter or assistance being provided by the social services department, I mean, everybody know which hotel in the West these young ladies are being kept in. So it's not effective. It's not, we don't have sufficient facilities for people to run to. So you could easily say, well, why don't they just get out of it? Some of them truly don't have any place else to go. And especially when they have a bunch of children they have to be concerned about. Are they to just go on the street with their children? This is so much deeper than we are making it out to be. And it is when we trivialize this that we are making people victims again, because you're not taking into consideration the pain, the realistic pain that people are facing and the limited options that they have to run to if they find themselves in this position. We got a lot of work to do. You know, we could have these conversations from now till kingdom come. But until we put some priority, until we put our money where our mouth is from a governmental level, working along with NGOs and others to try to establish some realistic facilities that can assist these people, not just places for them to lay their head, but assist them in terms of rebuilding their lives. I think somebody said it on the panel already. Rebuilding their lives, giving them skills by which they can stand on their own feet and not have to rely on somebody who's abusing them. Until we put some serious emphasis and effort behind this, we'll be having this conversation 10 years from now. And it's just, people are frustrated. Women are angry and frustrated because it seems as if we are not taking this problem seriously. And every now and again, you hear about some domestic situation that escalated to the point where the woman loses her life. And then there's all this uproar. Oh my God, well, we got to do better, yada, 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 yada. And then that blew over until the next one. And the next one. Where does it end? And we have to understand that this is more, listen, this begins with the little boy on the playground who goes and tries to force himself on a little girl. And in his mind, he ain't doing nothing wrong because just what he sees his daddy do, or there's something he see in a movie. He's only a kid, but this is what is being taught to him as normal behavior. This is where it begins. This is not something where somebody wakes up today and they decide they're going to rape somebody or physically abuse somebody. No. This is a culture that has been developed and fed and fostered for years. And we have to go back to the beginning if we expect to fix this problem. I am disappointed that I don't see more men coming forward to minister to other men, because men, you have to be as much a part of the solution as bad men are the problem. Because when women come forward and speak, oh, that's just an angry woman. Oh, she's just full of emotions. Oh, here we go again. She competing. Oh, she don't know her place. Men, you have to become a part of the solution. And until that happens, we can be having the same conversation 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, with very little progress being made. So please don't diminish the woman because she becomes emotional over this. Because, you know, I remember when that young lady allegedly, because I still don't believe that she willingly took her own life, the young lady who they ruled a suicide. I mean, the young lady produced tapes to say, if something happens to me, don't believe I killed myself. She said that on tape. But yet it was ruled a suicide. Okay, fine. But the problem is, when you have young ladies like that, who have tried the system, who have gone for help, who, according to her cries in many instances, particularly with law enforcement, fell on deaf ears, who's being constantly, repeatedly threatened by this man. And it seems that society is just brushing her off. if she did take her own life, it's because of the pressure of having to deal with this constantly. And her cries falling on deaf ears. Men, we need y'all in the fight. I remember after that event happened, I was having this conversation with a gentleman in the airport, and I was pretty angry at the time. And I said to him, you know, as a woman, I don't feel safe in this country. I don't feel protected. I feel like I got to be looking over my shoulder constantly. I can't go someplace and just be and feel comfortable. I got to be concerned about who watching me and who following me and who could possibly do what to me. And he says to me, oh, you shouldn't feel that way. You should feel safe. And I'm saying to him, how can you tell me as a woman how a woman is supposed to feel? I telling you what we going through and you dismissing what I'm saying. Because in your mind, I being an emotional woman. Do you not see how degrading that is? This is the problem. When people try to explain to y'all what it is like to be a woman in this society, where we constantly got to be looking over our shoulders, because you don't know what beast can jump out the bush and feel they got the right to take what they want to take from you. And yet, we don't see more men stepping forward and saying, no, my brother. You can't be joking about taking it. Because that ain't a joke. That's rape. Man, we need you in this fight. Is that a caller? No. Okay. Ladies, we only have 3 minutes left. Let's try to wrap this up.
This is going to be my last 30 seconds.
Yes.
If the example does not start in the church, it will not end in the street, because people are looking at what so-called Christian men do and so-called Christian men say. So if they say it's no such thing as marital rape, we have a fight to the finish.
All right. Anybody else?
Yes, Michelle. I want to thank you for this opportunity. But, you know, as you were speaking, there's a need. We have to first realize that there's a need for this law and there's a need for shelter. This is why nothing has been done for years. Because of how women are viewed in this country, that's why there is absolutely, in a country where you are number one for domestic violence and rape, and there is not one shelter, a safe place, a real safe place where women speak volumes to how women are seen and treated in this country. And I want to say too, so the pastors, who are this narrative that a man cannot rape their wives, you are a facilitator of that rape and abuse that is occurring in marriage, because there are a lot of men that listen to you.
And take
understand? And I want to continue to call it what it is. It's rape because it's describing the act. It's not sexual assault. Once sex intercourse is involved, it is rape. Let's stick with the word rape. The mere fact that they don't like it, because they don't like to look at themselves in the mirror to see that that's who I am, let's use the word. It's rape.
Okay. Patrice, let's hear from you.
Yeah, so I feel the reason very strongly, of course, I feel like we could come to the conclusion that legislature is needed. And it's needed because a lot of these civic or social issues were left to be handled by establishments like the church. And the church obviously has failed the general populace in this notion that it is impossible for such things to happen. And so the legislature would protect us in any event. And people would be more free to come forward if there is something happening. And of course, if it is not happening, then also the legislature must put something in place to penalize those that will come forward with falsehood as well.
Okay, thank you, Patrice. Siobhan, you got the final word. Siobhan? Oh, her camera froze again. It's a pity. Okay. Can you hear Siobhan? No, she's frozen. She's having connectivity issues. Siobhan, you're in the matrix, hon, and it's 4:00. So
you
go
can
ahead
hear me?
Okay, real quick. Yes. Yes, go
Hi.
ahead. Yes, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, Siobhan, real quick.
You can hear me now. Okay, so
Yes,
I went
go ahead.
to real quick that we need to stop blaming the victim. I would like to stay safe and be a part of the solution than the problem, and making justifying evil is done in a marriage. Not every marriage is healthy. I'm speaking for those that do their spouses. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Appreciate it. Time is gone. Until next time.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Good evening, ladies. Afternoon.
No? Real quick. Did you get to say, you just saying goodbye? Eh?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta go. It's 4:01. We gotta go. Until next time. Tomorrow's Wellness Wednesday. We're going to be looking at an issue that is going to be dealing with your physical and mental health. Be sure to tune in then. Until then, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily